Are you needing to weave in your yarn tails? I get asked all the time, how do I weave in my yarn tails and have them not come undone, especially when changing colors? I'm going to show you in this tutorial. If you can tie a couple of them into a knot together, I do that because that adds a little bit more security to my yarn changes and it makes it less likely for it to come undone. But the key is you have to be able to make sure that it can be hidden a little bit inside of your stitches. You don't want just this huge knot sticking out. So you want your yarn tails close together. Now what I usually do is I tie a double square knot. So here's one and I tighten it, but I don't over tighten it. And then I tie it again. Then that way I know it's less likely to come undone. Now what I do is I grab my yarn needle and I put it onto one of those ends that I just tied together. Now for me, the key is when I am weaving in yarn, I try to weave it in inside of the same color that it is. That way it is less likely to show up on my finished project. So with the teal, I'm going to go inside of my teal stitches here. I go one direction and I'm just sliding that yarn needle on the inside of those stitches. I'm going to push my yarn needle and then I'm going to carefully pull that yarn tail through and I'm going to pull. Now notice that kind of pulls my yarn knot in so it's less likely to be seen. Now I also like to go another direction, so I'm going to go down a little bit here with the teal, just a couple of stitches. I go through those two stitches, I pull it tight, and then I like to do a U shape. So I'm going to go back in the direction I came from, again, weaving inside of the same color stitches. So I went this direction, and this direction. So it's a big U shape. So I figure by going 3 different directions, it's less likely for that yarn tail to pop out and come undone. So now here it is. I've taken my yarn needle off. Then I simply take my scissors and I cut as close to the project as I can without cutting the project. And I cut that yarn tail off. And then it disappears inside of that. And then I would just do the same thing with the white. I would go this way, up, and then back when weaving it in. So you can hopefully see that U shape that I get when I'm weaving in my yarn tails. And on the ends, it's kind of the same thing. You may not be able to tie a knot like this white one right here. I could not tie a knot to it to anything else. So I would simply just put on my yarn needle. And I'm just going to do the same thing, a U shape in the same color. So inside of the white stitches, I would work my yarn needle one direction. I would come up. And then I would work my way back the same direction that I came from. So again, another big U. Again, a U shape is going to make it less likely to come undone and come out. And that's how I weave in ends in crochet. I hope you guys found this tutorial helpful. If you need more crochet tutorials, you can check out my blog, hopecornerfarm.com, or my YouTube channel, Hope Corner Farm Crochet. And I hope you have a wonderful day.